Give us the latest you're thinking on not necessarily the rate cut question, but what's going on with the economy. Is it a recession?
We're not in a recession. When you look broadly across all the indicators, not just in the labor market, consumers, production, income, we are in a place where things have slowed. So we're not in contraction territory. That, frankly, is not good enough. We can do better than avoiding a recession. What is very worrisome, and today's employment report underscored, is the direction of travel. The momentum is not good. We are pointed towards what would be recessionary dynamics, and that should be a real wake-up call.
I think you put it best in your note on Wednesday, when you said the Fed should just go ahead and cut. And if they didn't cut this week, which they did not, you warned they might have to cut more rapidly in the meetings to come.
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear. And the Fed was very clear on the direction they're headed in, which is cutting interest rates. I think today calls into question the decision to wait, and yet they have what is so important and a cause for being somewhat optimistic is the Fed has a big lever still to pull, right? They have a lot of interest rate cuts that they could go through if they need to. They don't need to all at once, but we do have that lever to pull and take some pressure off the economy. This economy's in a good place. It just needs some pressure taken off it.
Diane, let me bring you in because you're now thinking that they're going to need to go ahead and quicken up the pace of cuts, right?
Exactly. We are looking at a 0.5% cut in September, and I think they're probably feeling a little remorse because they did discuss a cut. Chair Powell admitted at the press conference in July, at the meeting in July. And so, having this number come out, triggering the Sahm rule, I agree 100% with Claudia that we're not in recession. We still got momentum, but it is slowing. And I think actually the third quarter is going to be the weakest quarter out there. The good news is that the bond market is starting to do some of the heavy lifting for the Fed and already stimulating the economy by rallying and bringing rates down. What's also important is, I've sort of likened this that people forget how hard soft landings really are. I remember the mid-1990s, and it was a lot worse living it than it looks on paper. The path to a soft landing is similar to the path of gold. It is gold medal. It is paved with tears and setbacks and self-doubt, and that's clearly what the Fed's feeling today.
And I think people say we've only ever achieved one. So it's tough to do, Diane, to your point. Rick, let me bring you in here.
Well, I'd like to talk to Claudia about something very important. Claudia, the Fed has put a lot of credence in the stability and durability of the labor market, the strength in the U.S. economy. And my issue is that maybe the market signals aren't accurate. Seasonal adjustment, seasonality, commercial real estate, quantitative easing has masked many of the traditional historic signals. Just think about the yield curves and inversions and what they usually signal and how they may have been distorted by the huge amounts of QE. So in order to understand if the Fed made a mistake or what they should do down the road, we need to know if the foundation that most of their policy has been built on was accurate to begin with, because many I've talked to don't believe in the intense, solid aspects of the labor market. Just look at JOLTS and some of the stale postings that they, for many months, kept referring to and maybe inflating job openings. What's your thought on the rearview mirror and the stability of the foundation before we even think about what we need to move forward to aid what looks like a very slow momentum issue with regard to the economy?
So we can't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. I mean, in terms of macro forecasting, macroeconomic policy, investing, this is really hard. We never have all the data we have. We always want that next data release. We always want that better piece of information. And so any decision the Fed is going to make they're going to have to make it under uncertainty. And this cycle has absolutely tested, the rules of thumb, the conventional wisdom. I get it. And the Fed has been in a really tough place. I think they have to pick their heads up and do some forward looking and make some decisions. But yeah, we're always going to be able to look back and say, well, they could have done this or that or the other. And I will absolutely affirm the point you made that the data picture, like our understanding of what is happening right now, is so very challenged. And what that means is, and I'll be the first to say it, having someone that has a rule attached to her name, don't just rely on one tool, right? You really got to open them up and think hard about where they disagree most.